If you had to pick the exact moment Lionel Messi peaked, you would probably get it wrong. Why? Because normal players have one prime. Messi, who had four. From the goal-scoring robot of 2012 to the World Cup general of 2022, he didn't just maintain his level, he reinvented the sport every few years. But here's the question that has been dividing football fans for years. Was peak Messi the one who scored 91 goals in a calendar year? Or was it the version that dismantled Bayern Munich in the Champions League semi-final? Maybe it was the older, wiser Messi who finally lifted the World Cup in Qatar. The answer will shock you, because what we're about to reveal goes against everything the media has told you about athletic primes. Today, we aren't just looking at stats, we're identifying the single season where the impossible became routine. We're going to analyze 4 completely different versions of Messi, each one worthy of being called the greatest player on the planet. And before we dive in, if you want to see the truth behind football's greatest debates, subscribe to Cyberboot right now and turn on notifications, because by the end of this video, you'll have ammunition for every Messi argument you'll ever have. Let's find the true prime Messi. Think about any great footballer you've watched. Ronaldo Nazario, Zinedine Zidane, Cristiano Ronaldo, Thierry Henry. They all followed the same pattern. A meteoric rise in their early 20s, a glorious peak around 26 to 29 years old, and then a gradual decline as their bodies betrayed them. It's the natural order of things. Athletes are bound by biology. Speed fades, explosiveness diminishes, recovery takes longer. This is the standard bell curve of a sporting career. But Lionel Messi broke the curve. What we're presenting today is something we're calling the moving prime theory. It's the idea that Messi didn't have a single peak. He had multiple evolutionary stages, each one adapting to his changing physical capabilities and tactical demands. He traded physical speed for mental speed. He exchanged raw volume for total control. He transformed from a solo destroyer into a team orchestrator, and then into a one-man army, before finally becoming the ultimate big-game player. Most players peak once. Messi peaked 4 times. And here's what makes this analysis different from everything else you've seen. We're not just going to throw numbers at you. We're going to examine the context, the tactical evolution, the iconic moments, and most importantly, the trade-offs. Because every version of Messi sacrificed something to gain something else. So let me ask you this. What do you value more in a footballer? Pure goal-scoring numbers? Complete all-around play? The ability to carry an entire team? Or stepping up in the moments that define legacies? Drop your answer in the comments right now, because your answer will determine which Messi prime you'll pick by the end of this video. Now, let's break down the 4 primes. Let's start with the version of Messi that most people think of when they hear Prime Messi. The 2011 to 2012 season, the calendar year of 2012. This was Messi as a goal-scoring machine, a glitch in the matrix, a cheat code. Under Pep Guardiola and later Tito Villanova, Barcelona deployed Messi as a false 9. Not a traditional striker, but a roaming forward who dropped deep to receive the ball, then exploded into space behind defenders. The system was simple but devastating. Get the ball to Messi. Repeat. And the numbers? Absolutely absurd. In the 2011-12 season alone, Messi scored 73 goals in all competitions. That's a European record. In La Liga, specifically, he netted 50 goals, an all-time single-season record that still stands today. But it gets better. In the calendar year of 2012, Messi scored 91 goals. Let me repeat that. 91 goals in 1 year. 79 for Barcelona, 12 for Argentina. To put that in perspective, he broke Gerd Muller's record of 85 goals, which had stood since 1972, 40 years. And he didn't just break it, he obliterated it. This was Guinness World Record territory. This was video game numbers in real life. The playstyle during this period was what we call vertical Messi. Explosive acceleration from a standing start, the ability to weave through 4 or 5 defenders in a phone booth, ruthless finishing with both feet. He wasn't the primary playmaker yet. Xavi and Iniesta still controlled Barcelona's tempo. Messi's job was simpler: receive, dribble, finish. And he did it better than anyone had ever done it before. But here's the twist that nobody talks about. Despite these astronomical numbers, Barcelona didn't have their best season. They lost La Liga to Real Madrid. They were knocked out of the Champions League semi-final by Chelsea in one of the most controversial matches in recent memory. This was peak individualism, but not peak team success. Messi was Superman, but even Superman can't win alone. And this raises a critical question. Can you truly be in your prime if your team is not winning the biggest trophies? Hold that thought. We'll come back to it. Fast forward to the 2014-15 season. Messi is now 27 years old, still in his physical prime, but something has changed. Under Luis Enrique, Messi moved back to the right wing, but was given total freedom to roam. And for the first time in his career, he wasn't the only superstar in attack. Enter the MSN. Messi, Suarez, Neymar. On paper, this could have been a disaster. 3 massive egos, 3 players who demand the ball, 3 stars competing for the same spotlight. Instead, it became the most devastating front 3 in football history. But here's what's fascinating. Messi could have been jealous. He could have demanded to remain the focal point. Instead, he evolved. This version of Messi scored 58 goals in all competitions. Still an incredible number, but significantly less than his 73 from 2011-12. But he also provided around 27 assists. He wasn't just finishing anymore. He was creating, he was orchestrating. This was the perfect overlap of physical peak and football IQ. He still had the legs to sprint past defenders. His acceleration was still devastating, but now he also had the vision to split defenses with a single pass. He could dribble through an entire team or thread a through ball that only Suarez could reach. And most importantly, Barcelona won everything. La Liga, Copa del Rey, Champions League, the Treble. Let me take you to 2 specific moments that define this prime. May 6, 2015, Champions League semi-final against Bayern Munich. Messi receives the ball on the right wing, cuts inside, drops Jerome Boateng, one of the best defenders in the world, with a simple feint, and then chips Manuel Neuer, the best goalkeeper on the planet, with his weak foot. The audacity, the composure, the execution. But wait, there's more. May 30, 2015, Copa del Rey final against Athletic Bilbao. Messi receives the ball near the halfway line on the right touchline. He's tightly marked. Most players would pass backward or play it safe. Messi beat 4 defenders along the touchline, where there's no space, and scored at the near post. This wasn't just skill, this was complete mastery of the game. And here's why many experts consider this the true prime: balance. He wasn't just a scorer, he wasn't just a creator. He was both, at the absolute highest level, while also winning every trophy available. Physical peak? Check. Mental peak? Check. Team success? Check. But before you make up your mind, let me introduce you to a version of Messi that's even more impressive in some ways. Now, I know what you're thinking. How can anything be more impressive than 58 goals, 27 assists, and a treble? Well, imagine this scenario. Your 2 best midfielders, the architects of your entire playing style, are gone. Your superstar attacking partner leaves for a rival club. Your team's tactical identity collapses. The board makes questionable signing after questionable signing. And yet, you still win La Liga. You still reach the Champions League semi-final. You still score 51 goals and provide 19 assists. How is that possible? Because you're not just playing as a forward anymore. You're playing as the midfielder, the playmaker, the goal scorer, and the leader, all at once. Welcome to Atlas Messi, the version that carried an entire club on his shoulders. And this is where the debate gets really interesting. The 2018-19 season, Messi is now 31 years old. By conventional wisdom, he should be declining. Father Time catches everyone, right? Wrong. This is where Messi proved that football intelligence can compensate for physical decline. Xavi had retired. Andres Iniesta had left for Japan. Neymar was in Paris wearing PSG colors. The Barcelona midfield was a shadow of its former self. The team that had dominated Europe through possession and intricate passing was now disjointed and predictable, except for one man. Messi essentially played 2 positions simultaneously. He dropped deep into midfield to collect the ball, dictated the tempo, and then transformed into a goal-scoring threat in the final third. He scored 51 goals. He provided 19 assists. He won the Pichichi Trophy, the award for La Liga's top scorer, by a landslide. But the numbers don't tell the full story. This version of Messi had lost some top-end speed. He couldn't burst past defenders quite like he used to. But he gained something else: slow-motion dominance. He controlled games by walking. Yes, walking. While everyone else sprinted, Messi conserved energy, scanned the field, and struck with surgical precision when the moment arrived. He didn't need to run 90 minutes. He just needed to be decisive in the moments that mattered. Let me take you to May 1st, 2019. Barcelona versus Liverpool, Champions League semi-final first leg. Messi stepped up to take a free kick from about 30 yards out. The wall was set. Liverpool's defense was organized. And then Messi curled a shot around the wall into the top corner with such precision that it didn't even matter that it was his 600th club goal. What mattered was the moment. His team desperately needed a goal. He delivered. This season proved something crucial. Messi didn't need Xavi or Iniesta to be the best player in the world. He didn't need the perfect system. Give him a mediocre team, and he'd turn them into champions. Barcelona won La Liga that season almost entirely because of him. Not with him, because of him. And yet, there's still one more prime to discuss. The one that silenced every critic. The one that completed his legacy. But before we get there, I need to ask you something. Do you think individual brilliance is more impressive than team success? Is it better to dominate with a great squad around you, or to carry a weak team to glory? Comment below. Let's see where everyone stands. December 18th, 2022. Lusail Stadium, Qatar. Argentina versus France. World Cup final. This was the final frontier, the one trophy that had eluded Messi. the one achievement his critics pointed to whenever they questioned his greatness. And in that tournament, we saw a completely different version of Messi emerge. This wasn't the explosive dribbler of 2012. This wasn't even the complete footballer of 2015. This was something new entirely, the mental master. Messi led Argentina to World Cup glory with 7 goals and 3 assists. But more impressively, he became the first player ever to score in the group stage, round of 16, quarterfinal, semifinal, and final in a single tournament. Think about the pressure of that. Every knockout game, the weight of an entire nation on your shoulders. After the shock loss to Saudi Arabia in the opening match, Messi and Argentina essentially played 7 finals in a row. One mistake, and the dream dies. But Messi didn't just survive, he thrived. This version of Messi was defined by clutch moments, not volume stats. He walked more than ever, conserving every ounce of energy for the moments that truly mattered. He scanned the field constantly, reading the game 3 moves ahead like a chess grandmaster. And when the moment came, he struck. This was the culmination of everything he'd learned. The finishing of 2012, the playmaking of 2015, the leadership of 2019, all refined into pure efficiency. But the story doesn't end there. In 2023, Messi arrived in MLS with Inter Miami, a team that was dead last in the league, a franchise that had never won a trophy. And what did he do? Won the League's Cup immediately, Inter Miami's first ever trophy. Then, in 2025, well into his late 30s, he secured the MLS Cup and the Golden Boot. This wasn't a retirement tour. This was continued dominance on a different stage. The 2022 World Cup and MLS era answered the final question about Messi. Can he perform under maximum pressure in unfamiliar environments? Yes. Resoundingly, yes. He mastered the mental aspect of football. He proved that intelligence and positioning can overcome physical decline. And he ended the one debate that had haunted him. He can't do it for Argentina. So here we are. 4 primes. 4 completely different versions of Messi, each one dominant in its own way. The statistical anomaly of 2011 to 12, 91 goals in a calendar year, pure, raw, unstoppable scoring. The complete footballer of 2014-15, 58 goals, 27 assists, and a treble. The perfect balance of every skill. The Atlas of 2018 to 19, 51 goals, 19 assists, carrying a broken team to La Liga glory. The mental master of 2022 to 2025. World Cup champion, MLS dominator, the ultimate big game player. If we're being honest, prime is a misleading word for Messi. His career wasn't a peak followed by a decline. It was a series of peaks, each one adapted to his evolving abilities. But if we're forced to choose, if we have to identify the single season where everything came together, the answer is 2014-15. Why? Because it's the sweet spot, the overlap. He still had the legs to sprint past defenders. Physical prime? Check. He had developed the vision to be the world's best playmaker. Mental prime? Check. He won the biggest trophies. Winner's prime? Check. It wasn't the highest goal total, it wasn't the most dramatic narrative, but it was the most complete version of Messi we've ever seen. Let me break it down with a simple formula. Peak scorer, 2011-12. 91 goals in a calendar year. Peak carrier, 2018-19. The Atlas season where he dragged Barcelona to glory. Peak legacy, 2022. World Cup champion, ending all debates. True prime, the overlap, 2014-15. The perfect storm. But here's the beautiful thing about this debate. There's no objectively wrong answer. If you value pure numbers above all else, you'll pick 2012. If you value complete domination and team success, you'll pick 2015. If you value individual carry jobs, you'll pick 2019. If you value legacy-defining moments, you'll pick 2022. Messi didn't just have one prime, he had 4. And that's what makes him different from every other player in history. So now I'm turning it over to you. Which Messi prime do you think was the greatest? Drop your answer in the comments right now. And here's the challenge. Defend your choice. Tell me why your pick is better than the others. Are you team 2012 for the sheer absurdity of 91 goals? Are you team 2015 for the complete package and the treble? Are you team 2019 for the solo carry job? Or are you team 2022 for the World Cup glory and the ultimate legacy moment? Comment below. Let's debate this properly. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into Messi's career, do me a favor. Subscribe to Cyberboot and turn on the notification bell. We don't just give you surface level stats here. We go deep into the tactics, the context, the moments that define football history. Hit that like button if this video changed how you see Messi's career. Share it with your friends who still think he only had one peak. And most importantly, keep watching Cyberboot for more tactical breakdowns, player analyses, and football debates that actually make you think. Until next time, keep questioning what you think you know about football, because the truth is usually more interesting than the narrative. This is Cyberboot. And remember, Messi didn't have one prime, he had 4. See you in the next one.